Alright, racists, let's talk. I'm just gonna come out and say it. A majority of white people wish that they were black. They wish that they had the ability to create or invent. They wish that they had the ability to wear a variety of hairstyles. They wish that they had the ability to dance. They wish that they had original fashion. They wish that their style was memorable. They wish that they were able to turn heads in public. They wish that they could spend more than 2 hours in the sun. They wish to be desired. They wish that they could smell as good as black people. They wish that they were as superior as black people. They wish that they were as athletic as black people. Even wish that they were indigenous and could be gifted an entire planet from the Most High. They wish that they could excel at music and the arts. They wish that they could be scholars like black people. They wish that they were as intelligent as black people. They wish that they could even cook like black people. They even wish that they could look as cool as black people do in their cars, which explains why they have the windows rolled down at all fucking times. And the real big one, they really wish that they could age as gracefully as black people do.
From culture to conversation, from fashion to slang, one question keeps popping up. Why are so many white people obsessed with black people? Hey guys, welcome back to Historical Africa. Today we are going there. We are unpacking a question people whisper about, joke about, and sometimes shout about. Why are white people obsessed with black people? And no, this ain't about hate. It is about fascination, imitation, and the deep contradictions behind it. Let's break it down.
Hey racists, let's talk. Racists are obsessed with having authority over black indigenous Americans, but they can't handle their nervous system quite yet, so they haven't done the complete overhaul that they've wanted to. They will assert aggressive yet lackluster dominance in the moment, but the second they receive that dominant energy back, they just can't handle it. They start shaking like a tree. Slurred speech. Incoherent or irrelevant resolve just to maintain control, or look like they have dominance over the situation. Their adrenal glands are just on fucking fire. Some of them even pass out because they can't handle it. Even in those recent fishing videos where black people can't even fish in peace, they just think that they have the authority over the entire world. Even in public places, they believe that they have the authority to tell people what they can and cannot do, which is fucking crazy. You want me to honestly believe that they did not try to colonize every single piece of land? They can't stop thinking they have authority over everything. All of this hate when you could just give black indigenous Americans their land back and admit that you're fucking obsessed with everything they do. Everything! Sorry for the delay, let's get right back into it. This week we're going to talk about how corporate America used their obsession as a weapon. Corporate America displayed their obsessions by creating intentional rules and regulations to limit black people's expression in their offices. These rules were put in place to disable the natural security and posture of black people's power, displayed with the endless creative styles and flexibility achievable with their natural hair. Forced black women to adopt unnatural hairstyles or Eurocentric hairstyles, all to shrink and humble them. Imagine trying to dominate or shrink an area that black women naturally dominate. I don't understand that. Black men too were also forced to cut their hair as well in unnatural hairstyles that made absolutely no sense in an effort to shrink their masculinity or to shrink the power that they have in the office. The obsession and the weaponization of black people's hair is truly immature. To attack people for simply existing speaks to your inferiority, honestly. So ending this segment, to all you privileged, delusional people, I'm gonna stare right into the camera. All of this hate when you could just admit that you're obsessed. Now it's time to talk about the men that can't seem to take their hands off of children. And out of respect for all of the victims like myself, that's all I'll say about that. If you know, you know. As we discussed with black women's hair, black men's hair too bears a very odd obsession. I'm sure you've noticed at all of the various college campuses and high schools that the sudden straight hair kids now are obsessed with curly hair and a fade. A clear indicator of replicating what they see, which is simply theft. Privileged women have a tendency to hold space for such hatred within their gifts, and privileged men will unapologetically steal from a black man, no problem. Which actually brings me to the obsession of black man's masculinity. Privileged men are obsessed with black men's masculinity. They obsess over the ability of the black man to shine in any circumstance. Even at the hands of the abusers, the police. Privileged men would more than likely cross-dress before they could ever fully exude the levels of godlike masculinity that black men naturally have. Privileged people hide their obsessions behind hatred, when they could just admit they're obsessed with black people. You've all waited for it, and now here it is. Obsessions, a series. Let's kick it off right away. Here is one way the welfare Olympians are obsessed with black Americans. White women are too obsessed with everyone's hair but their own. They are obsessed with different braid styles, sew-ins, and even claiming a recent stake of ownership in lace front wigs. They have so much to say, but can't back it up because of their ego. And because they are so in their ego, they are too afraid to admit that they're obsessed with any and every style that black women do. They use obsessive and demeaning and unnecessary comments like, "Is it real?" or "Is it all yours?" Insane entitlement, thinking that you can just touch a black woman's hair, being super confused when they say no. They even laugh about it when they are told no because they are that obsessed and think that they are that entitled to touch a black woman's hair. They literally think it's a God-given right. They demand to touch it. They will search to the very ends of their Mary Poppins bag to find a comment to say, "I promise you." White women and men do not have creative motivation. So when they see black people have creative motivation, they become obsessed with the ideas that they see. They aren't able to breed creativity, so they become obsessed with the creative expression that they choose not to have. In simple terms, it's laziness. They are so mad and obsessed that they're now getting laws created to limit black creative expression. All of this hate when they could just admit that they're obsessed. What's tea, racists? Let's talk. Racists are obsessed with staring at black indigenous Americans at every turn. They think that they're invisible, like their gaze doesn't carry history. But that look, that is the psychic residue of centuries of unpunished surveillance. From auction blocks to plantation porches, from boarding schools, and yes, even broken police body cams. Whiteness operates like a haunted algorithm. They are programmed to stare, to scan, to surveil. Because if they're not looking at you, they might have to look at themselves and see the rot. And when you catch them staring, they suddenly pretend like they're going to tell you the color of the sky. This is envy disguised as caution, literally directing their head up to the sky as if they're having a conversation with God. This isn't just social awkwardness. This is fear posing as curiosity. This is the welfare Olympians putting their spiritual poverty on display in the presence of black indigenous brilliance. They look because they lack. They watch because they want. They fixate because deep down, they know. They know that they are guests in a world built by the very people they stare at like exhibits. So the next time one of them locks eyes on you like they're mapping your aura for resale, stare back. Smile. You're not being studied. You're being reminded of your power. And they can't stand it. Racists! You know what time it is. Let's talk. Question: why is it that when black Americans are parked in a wide open lot, total freedom, no one around, complete isolation, that a pale chariot comes around carrying Little Red Riding Hood, who just got lost on the way to Grandma's house, pulling up right next to them? It's not just weird. It's colonial. This is what I call settler spatial behavior, or also known as punk-ass parking. It's an inherited compulsion to occupy a space that a black body has claimed. Not because they need to, but because they must. This goes all the way back to stolen land and stolen lives, to squatting on indigenous villages, to building suburbs on black displacements. White comfort demands their displacement. They are programmed to follow them, sit next to them, park right next to them, ask if the seat is taken next to them. And like dogs, they're afraid to be alone. Why? Because whiteness doesn't just crave safety. It craves proximity to what it fears and envies. It's not about the parking spot. It's about the psychological need to intrude. See, in settler colonial psychology, black solitude is unacceptable. Because if black people are alone, they might be safe. If they're safe, they might start remembering. And if they remember, racists are in trouble. So when you're parked in divine solitude and you see them swing their magic school bus right into the divine isolation of your peace and privacy, just know this: it's not by accident. That is the same energy as building plantations next to maroon settlements. The exact same algorithm that built Starbucks over sacred earth. The same weirdos that prefer pumpkin pie over sweet potato pie. So the next time someone's creeping into your solitude like a ghost on probation, just whisper to yourself, they've always needed to sit beside the power that they've tried to erase.
Let's start with the facts. White fascination with blackness is not new. It is historical. In the 1800s, white audience laughed at black caricatures in mystery shows while mocking our pain. In the 1900s, they packed into jazz clubs to hear black music while still supporting segregation outside. So the obsession is not about love. It is about consuming blackness without respecting black people. Now let's talk now. From slang to style, music to memes, black culture drives everything, especially online. But here is the catch. Black creators make it. White folks copy it. White people go viral. And suddenly it is cool, trendy or urban until it is time to be actually black in America. Then the obsession disappears. Here is where it gets real deep. White America is obsessed with what it fears. They love black fashion, Black rhythm, black confidence. Black bodies, but fear, black anger. Black power, black resistance, black truth. It is the contradiction of loving our style while ignoring our struggle. Let's not forget the fertilization. Some white folks do not want equality, they want access to black bodies, to black energy, to black coolness, but not to black realness. They do not want to hear about racism trauma or how exhausting it is to constantly be watched. They want the culture, not the contest. So let's answer it straight. Why are white people obsessed with black people? Because blackness is power, and the world knows it. We are trendsetters, survivors, creators, visionaries. They do not understand how we shine so bright after everything we have been through. Blackness is not just something you wear, it is something you live. If you are white and watching this, ask yourself, do you love black people or just black culture? Because there is a difference. Appreciation is cool. Obsession without respect, that is a problem. Black folks, protect your energy. We have always been the source. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.